once again, we have our 12-foot skeleton. As you know, the only thing he does is blink his eyes when we plug him in. But one thing we want to do is make his head turn left and right as if he's looking down and kind of staring at both sides of the haunt. So when people come to check it out, you could see him looking this way and looking that way. His head will turn left and head will turn right. Now, in order to do this, we're gonna need a special part. And there's a guy from a website called Napier Family Lights. I think I'm saying that right. He 3D prints and he gets motors and he makes things happen. So if you haven't checked him out, he's got a lot of cool motorized props and pieces and things like elbow joints, things to secure the skeleton better, to make him last and to do cool things. And he's got that set up for other cool Halloween props as well. We got his spider kit so we can make the spider tentacles move. But for the skeleton, we want his head to turn left and right as if he's looking down and looking at people as they walk by. So we ordered this kit and we're gonna go and take a look and check it out. All right, looks like we are getting ready. What do we got here?
The giant foot skeleton.
The giant 12-foot skeleton. So we took off his torso, his ribs, here's his neck, and we took off the head so that we can access these connection points here. So that thing we're gonna have to take off here where it locks in, and we're gonna have to do the same thing over here on this side where that locks in. And then the kit is very basic. Scout, can you go ahead and open the box and show us what the kit looks like? Let's see. Very basic. Go ahead and pull the stuff out of the box. So some PVC, little piece of skelly, that's his neck. That's exactly right. That's how it turns. What is this? This is the motor, right?
Yeah, the motor.
The motor. So it's got an AC 100, 127 volt, 50, 60 hertz. It goes counterclockwise or clockwise, and it just connects to those wires there.
Music.
Yeah. And then, thank you, we have this piece. This is what goes onto his neck right here, hon. So that's gonna connect there. We just unscrew this and screw that in. This is a little piece to attach the wires. So we'll have the wires connected to this cord here. It's gonna connect to the end there. And we just connect it with this thing. And this is literally gonna go inside the skeleton's head. So we're gonna take that piece out. This is gonna pop right in, and that'll go right in there. That's essentially gonna be his new neck. So this empty plate will come off. Okay, so the first thing we gotta do is take off this piece here. We've actually got some of the screws out. One of the things I'll say about these screws, they are really, really cheaply made. They do strip very, very, very easily. They're like soft screws. So they obviously didn't make them or supply any good ones that are really made to take this on and off, in my opinion. I've tried a couple different drill bits, but the issue still persists. But Scout, let's go ahead and remove the rest of the screws here.
This side?
This side right here, and you got it. So go ahead and, if you can help me, go ahead and unscrew some of those. Scout's gonna help. There you go, starting to come undone. All right, good job, Scout. All right, that one looks like it's all the way undone. Let's do that last screw there. Go ahead and do it. Let's see you do it. And go ahead, you got it? All right. And then we just gotta wait till the neck thing to come off. There we go. Perfect. Did we get the rest of the top? Maybe a little bit more on top here. Go ahead and line that up. It's a little tricky. Okay, I can see it coming undone. All right, I think we did it. Whoa, give me a high five. Give me a high five, Lily. All right, so look at that. We've already got this piece here. These little pieces look like they're kind of there for support, but you can see the pre-drilled holes for where the screws will go. And then this is gonna just stay out of the way. So the next step is getting that other piece over here. And this is gonna go back on there. We just gotta do the same thing what we did, Scout, but we just gotta line them up with the holes and get those screwed on there. So let's get the screws. All right, give me a high five. You did it. All right, so you got the screws.
I can do it.
All right, so we got a couple of them screwed in there now. Now we just need to do the rest. And it's important to do all of them just to make sure there's enough support. So we're just gonna finish that off, get all those screwed in, and then once we get that screwed in, just make sure that stays out of the way.
Can you just keep it in there?
Sure, and we'll get that finished up. All right, so just gotta get the other screws all in there, and then we'll be pretty good. Keep screwing. All right. Okay, now that we've got this plate on there, this is the old plate that came off. All you gotta do is set it off to the side. I would save it just in case you decide to ever switch back. And then here, next step is removing the plate that goes on the skull. So when you remove it, just gotta make sure you don't lose the cord inside. Other than that, it's pretty much the same thing as the neck. Just remove this, all the screws on here, and then we're gonna get ready to place the motor. I'll hold it. All right, good job. Awesome, you're doing great.
That on it.
That's some of the plastic residue, that's normal. Let me see it. Because it screws into the plastic, it will have some of this plastic residue on the screw, which is normal. Let's go ahead and get the other shoes, go ahead. Can you get the other ones? Push in, so you don't strip it. There you go. That's how you do it. Keep going. I think you got a little bit more. All right, you got it? Awesome, hand it to me. We'll set the screws off to the side, and we're just gonna do that for every one of them and get all those pieces off. All right.
Dad, I got the plastic.
All right. Yeah, go ahead and take the screws off and set those off to the side as well. Great.
Okay, if one of them have plastic on.
That's okay. Keep taking them off.
Okay, I'll take them off.
All right, we're almost there, sweetie. Whoa. All right, can you go ahead and remove the plate, please?
This one.
And whoa. And see, it's just pretty much hollow on the inside. You can see like the ribbon cable and stuff where the eyes go and all that stuff. So yeah, now next thing we need to do, but before we put the motor on, let's test it and make sure it works okay. So we got the motor. Again, this is what's gonna go inside of the skeleton's head. Once you get that in there, the cable, the blue cable is gonna go around this little notch here, just out to the side. And then we're gonna get that in there, and that's where that PVC piece is gonna slide in there. We'll tighten that down. But we wanna make sure the motor works, so we're gonna connect the two pieces on the end here. We're gonna connect it to the piece here, to this basic cable here, the switch, on-off switch, so you can turn it on and off. So we just gotta connect that stuff to our little crimp wire here, and then we'll plug it in and see how it works. So Scout, will you go ahead and press on those little things? We're gonna get those little wires in there. You wanna try doing it? Yeah, so go ahead and, it can go either way. So go ahead and press down on that side. The other one, up front, yeah, like that. And that one's gonna slide in like that. Okay, press down so that it can go in. Okay, keep pressing. Yeah, hasn't gone in yet. Okay, now we're gonna do the same thing to the other side. So let's press down on that other one, and we'll get that cable in. Yep, and go ahead and slide that in. Perfect. Okay, so Scout is getting the wires connected to that little piece. I think she's done it. Wow, did you do it? Let's see. Awesome job. Great, that's exactly what we needed. Now we need to do the same thing to the other side with the plug. So can we go ahead and do it to these wires that are on the motor? We gotta plug those in there. Can you do the same thing? Let's give it a go. Yeah, but it's part of the fun. Maybe if you can see. All right, let's see. Good job. Wow, you did one. Now you got one more to go. Same thing. Get that in there. Push that down. How is it looking? You do it? Awesome job. Give me a high five. Way to go. All right, so now that that's all connected, I'm gonna double check. It looks good. One thing I will say is when you put this outside is to wrap it with some sort of waterproof, like gaffer's tape. I'm actually gonna probably redo it and put a like heat shrink wrap or heat shrink tube over it. But yeah, next thing is plugging it in. Okay, so we went ahead and got this plugged in here. Everything's double checked, it's connected. And I just need to make sure the motor works. So Scout, will you do the honors? Will you turn the switch on? And Lily, will you tell me what it looks like? Is it moving? Yeah? You're right, look. So watch, see how it's moving? It hits a hard stop and then it goes the other direction. So just imagine the skeleton's head on top of that, looking left and right. It's going clockwise and counterclockwise, and that's exactly what we want. So we're gonna go ahead and put this motor into the skeleton's head, and then we're almost done. Okay, so it's a little bit of a snug fit, but we gotta get this in here. We gotta get it around those little spots there, and that's just gonna go right in there. We might have to give it a little bit of force to push that thing down, but we're getting it. And the skeleton's head kind of, it's got some flex to it. And come on, almost there. Perfect. Now it's pretty snug. And the next thing we need to do is just bolt it down. We got to line the screws up and make sure this thing is lined up to where it's rotating the proper way. But I not make sure this is still here, which it is, and connecting the motor back up. Once we connect the motor back up, we're gonna go ahead and hold the skeleton for a second. Once the motor's connected and those are all screwed in, then this thing goes here, this little piece of PVC, it goes here, and then you put that little, you tighten down the set screw that locks on here, and then this piece, the other side of this will slide down into his neck here. So pretty basic.
I love that it's gonna move back and forth.
Me too. All right, so again, you just line it up. You need to make sure you can see which way the set screw's going. We need to turn it a little bit, but you can adjust it so that you can make sure the set screw is going left and right in the appropriate directions, which seems like it's going where it hits those hard stops. It's right about where that lines up. Screwed in. Okay, so I've got the skeleton's neck, or should I say PVC pipe, which is not going to be really seen when he's on display. That's just going to slide right into that motor that we just put in there, and we're going to lightly screw this down. We don't want to over tighten it. We don't want to crack this. We just want to make sure it's secured in there so that when it slides onto the neck, it sits nice and snug. Okay, here it is, and we got the PVC here. We got it all connected, and we're gonna slide him in to the neck. It's kind of snug, but just slides right down, and boom, now he's on there. Now, Scout, let's go ahead and plug him in and see if he turns on. Ooh, she's excited. All right, plug it in. Let's see. Whoa, look at that. Look at that, he's looking left and right. Baby's very excited. Whoa, check that out. What do you think? Give me a high five. All right, give me a high five. Yes. Now, we're gonna set him back up. We're gonna set him back up, and we'll turn on his eyes and put him back together and see what it looks like. But this is very cool to see him coming to life.